Folks, thanks for joining us on our 6th broadcast for the virtual tasting. Thanks for inviting us into your living rooms, enjoying a glass of Dolcetto and a chat with Brinis and Dr. Becker. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to answering some of your questions. Okay, our first question tonight comes from Amanda Delk. Amanda asked, what kind of wine glass is Dr. Becker drinking out of? I need it. Amanda, we all need that glass. It's a wonderful glass. It's actually a medium-bodied red wine glass from Riedel. So in front of me, you'll see I have the 3 Riedel red wine glasses, the basic red wines. So we have, this one is our light-bodied red wine glass. This is one of the medium-bodied red wine glasses, not exactly like the one Dr. Becker has. And this is our heavy-bodied red wine glass. So Doc's glass is a slightly different model. If you go online to Riedel, you'll be able to find it. Here at the winery, we carry all 3 of these glasses. Each one is designed to accentuate the attributes of those different wines. For instance, a Pinot Noir or Zinfandel or Dolcetto in this case. This one would be a Syrah, a medium-bodied Syrah. And this one, of course, would be like a Merlot or a Cabernet. So these, all 3 are designed to do different things. You'll notice the curvature on this one really focuses the nose, as well as where the wine hits you on the palate. You can see how it starts to really narrow down the wine, so it hits right in the middle of the palate. The middle one here, with the medium body, it also has a great nose, but it also, as you start to tilt it down, the palate becomes slightly broader, so it hits the middle and the middle edges of the tongue or the palate. And then of course the heavy-bodied red wine, here it comes down and it gives you the broad expanse on the palate as it comes into your mouth. All 3 of these do make the same wine taste slightly different. We're working on a Riedel wine tasting, virtual tasting that we're getting ready to post here fairly soon, so stay tuned. Our first question tonight is actually a 2-part question. It comes from both LaShonda Hollins and Patricia Streeter. LaShonda asked, how do we order the tenderloin? And Patricia asked, where can we buy the cookbook and the rub? Well, LaShonda, the tenderloin you can order directly from the Perini Ranch at periniranch.com. Look in our comments for the exact spelling, or you can look them up. They are out of Buffalo Gap, Texas. They'd be happy to ship you that tenderloin, and trust me when I tell you this, it's worth it. It is an absolutely fantastic treat. And Patricia, the cookbook and the rub can also be ordered from periniranch.com, or if you're putting an order in at Becker Vineyards, we have the cookbook and the rub, and we'd be happy to send it along with your wine. All right, our next question comes from Billy Ewell. Billy asks, my tenderloin won't arrive until next week, so I'm about to have the Dolcetto with pulled pork I smoked recently. Okay, John? Yes, Billy, that is more than okay. I am an absolute fan of pulled pork, and I think the Dolcetto was made in heaven, if you will, for pulled pork. So enjoy the pulled pork, enjoy the Dolcetto, enjoy a little more Dolcetto, a little more pulled pork, but Billy, honestly, don't eat too much Dolcetto or drink too much pulled pork. Our next question comes from Jim Riggs. Jim asked from Fort Worth, asked, how does a wine become a reserve wine? Jim, unfortunately, there's no absolute rule for using the word reserve on a label. For Becker Vineyards, for us in particular, we like to reserve the word reserve, if you will, for wines from either a single vineyard or a blend that is a smaller component of a larger portion. In other words, like the Canada family or the Wilmeth family vineyards, we do single Cabernets from both of those vineyards. We also use their cab in some other blends. But those particular cabs, when it says Wilmeth or Canada, are Cabernet just from that vineyard, just from that vintage. All right, our final question for this week is from Michael Salazar. Michael asked, any specific temperatures for next week? I'm sure you're thinking of wine and not weather, so Michael, yes. We have 3 reds next week. We have our Cinsault, our Cab Syrah, and our Canada Family Vineyards Reserve Cabernet Sauvignon. All 3 of those wines could be delicious at about 55 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you want to pop them in the fridge about an hour or 2 before service, take them out about 15-20 minutes before you pop the cork, they'll probably be about perfect temperature, and that's exactly what I do at home. I used to have a very expensive little wine chiller fridge. It went out on me, and I discovered that my regular refrigerator will work just fine following those guidelines. Also, for those at home that are interested in any particular appetizers, all 3 of those go very well with your main course dinner, or just grab your favorite snack and try it with that wine. And that's what I really want to convey. There are foods that we recommend, but then everybody has a favorite snack food or a favorite cocktail hour food. pile it on and join us with a glass of wine. Cheers until next week.